welcome. This is Devin from Deadly Air Gamings. For those coming for the first time, welcome. For those coming back, welcome back. Today we are going to be going over my new build that I've been working on for the past few days. Still leveling it up, so it still has a lot more potential as far as its damage, but at the place that it's in right now, it's doing amazing on damage. I'm doing 4K crits, 5K crits in the monoliths, anywhere from 1 to 4K. Um, Survivability is really good right now. I still have a little bit more to go finishing up my resist, stuff like that. But other than that, the speed also is really good, so it can get through maps really quick, kill everything really quick, and survive really quick. So it's working really well. But before we get into if you do like the content, please smash that like button. If you want to keep up to date with my builds, my guides, my live streams, all that fun stuff, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Also, I do have a link to my Discord down below. If you want to come chit chat with us, you can also chat with me while I'm live streaming through Discord, while I'm streaming and stuff like that. So we'd love to have you. But let's go ahead and get into it. So first thing what we're going to do is I'm going to run 2 runs, kind of show you 2 ways of playing the build. Um, and first one is essentially where you just run to the end, pull everything to end, and just mow them over. Other one would be kind of playing just like a normal way of playing it through the map. Um, so I'll go over to that with you. Let's see. Now, bear in mind, I am having it right now. I know I probably should just keep leveling and then do this video later, but right now I am using a little bit more mana than I normally would, just because I had redone my Warpath. So right now it's using more mana than what it would normally be using. So normally, with normal setup, and I'll be showing it to you later, has pretty much no issues with mana. Uh, so here we go. Let's see here if we can find. Well, let's do deadly, just because it gives me more XP, and I could care less because they're gonna die. So like I said, first one we're gonna do is we're just gonna run through and kill at the end, and then we'll go and do one more, and then I'll go through the breakdown of the passives, the skills, the whole 9 yards. This one might hurt a little bit because of all these guys that do all the AoE stuff, but that's alright. We should be fine. Who do we gotta kill? Oh, a spire. Oh, there's more spires. I was about to say, where's the portal thing? I guess I passed it up and didn't pay attention. Alright, everybody follow me. Back to the beginning. Hey, Slowpokes. Glad you noticed. Out of the way, out of the way. I mean, you can just use lunge just to get from mob to mob as you pull, but doing that will get you, you'll go through a little bit too fast where you won't get to kill very many mobs. So if you don't care about that, just trying to speed run through monoliths to get to the higher tiers, by all means you can do that. That's totally up to you. So essentially, especially ones where you've got to kill a boss at the end, it makes it extremely easy. Essentially, and I'll kind of give you the breakdown later on the gear of why that method works really well. Survivability is going to be really good with that as well, and I'll show you why here in a moment. Let's see, might as well put a point in before I forget about it. Okay, so that's just going to make for more damage. Alright, we'll come in here. armor shred on throwing attacks. I don't need that. I need that idle, but not with the shred on it. Let's see, anything. Sure, why not? So this one, I'll show you like just playing the map, how good it still does. Be nice. I mean, this build runs extremely well when you have a good density, because it helps with getting your buffs. I mean, I could buff myself, but I'm lazy. I usually just let it do on its own. I hate these guys that got up a lot of HP. But essentially, you don't, like I said, you don't have to kill everything. You can come in and just kill trash mobs. So now that I'm starting to get my buffs, the damage is going to go higher and higher. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just come through, kill all these, and just kind of essentially drag the bigger guys, because they'll start to pile up on top of each other. And then when you have all your buffs, you just mow them over. You see, like on maps like this, where the density is not that great, this would be the one of those ones that I would just pull to the end. Just for the simple fact that you're not able to keep your buffs up as easy because you're getting them from killing. So if you're only killing one mob here, one mob there, or maybe 5, you're not really going to get your buffs. So that was kind of a poor map to really show that on. But like I said, generally the way I run it is if it's a low density map, I'll just run to the end and then mow everything over. If it's one of those maps that has good density and stuff like that, I'll actually kill stuff as I go, and just because I can just hopscotch through the mobs and just blow them all up as I go through, because all my buffs will be up and I have no issues, and just run through them. When you do the mowed down method, you start getting your buffs because you have all those mobs. They're going to start popping, and your damage is going to go through the roof. And I'll show you why here in just a moment. So first off, we're going to go through the skills, kind of go through the breakdown of the skills. Then I'm going to go through and I'll kind of explain some of the play styles as far as with the skills and why I'm telling you how it's going to work. Then I'm going to go over the passive tree, and then I'll go over the gear. Now the gear, I'm going to show you what I'm wearing, and then I'm going to show you a planner that has the breakdown of the gear that I'm going to be using. So first off, skills. Essentially Warpath, the way I went is leveling up. You can just come over here and grab these, and you'll be fine. And then come down here and grab these. If you want, instead of grabbing this, so you don't have to worry about mana, instead of going down here, just put 2 points here. Instead of put these 2 points here, just put them here and there, and then you'll just be using 1 mana per tick, and you'll be fine. After that, you can start coming over here to grab this. My last point, once I hit, or my next point is going over here. I had this, and then I was coming over here, and now I'm converting over to completely here to get rid of that. Because once you start leveling up and you start getting higher, that 25% elemental damage taken really starts to hurt. Essentially, one of the main ones is like poison, because there's not really any way to negate that as good, because of the way the resists work. It's a dot and damage, so that dot is where it hurts. So essentially you'll come over here, 1 here, 3 here, and 3 will be here, 5 here, and with this setup it'll put you at 1 mana per tick, which for me is fine. But like I said, if you want to use 0 cost and not worry about mana for casting at all, you can by all means take these 2 out and put them here. The damage difference really won't make that too much of a difference. Um, like I said, it would help with defenses a bit. You can get an extra 10% elemental resist and some more armor that you don't have to do on your gear. Um, so that's pretty much it for this. And then now I'm gonna go over these two here in just a second. I'm gonna go over these because I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna kind of explain why I have both of these. Um, this one, Sigil of Hope, will be coming over here to 50 get 30% damage per sigil that I'll have. I'm gonna have a max of 4. Um, this to have it cast on kill for me, so I generally don't even have to worry about casting it. I generally don't cast it at all. If I want to, I can. It's there. Um, 3 here for the extra fire damage per sigil. Come over here for just put 2 to get up to here. This will add 10-second duration, more 10 to the duration, and then to get the 4th sigil. Then coming over here to double the health regen, and then my last, last 2 points, I'm going to come up here to where I'll get an extra 2 block chance per sigil, which essentially equals up to being um, 8 um, or 8% block chance, and then some more effectiveness, and then that'll be it for this. You don't have to go here if you don't want to. If you feel sinky enough, you can put it in Ignite Chance, which would give you this 12 times 4, so that's 40, 53, I think. Sorry, it's been a long day. So you could get a little bit more Ignite Chance depending on once you do your gear. Say if you're at a threshold for Ignite where you're at like say 160 or 170%, you can, instead of going here, you can put it here just to get that, hit that over that cap of the 100 mark, to where you'll have 100% chance of, it'll put you over 200, which would allow you to have 2 stacks and a chance of a 3rd stack. So that would be totally up to you. That I'm gonna try, um, whenever I get this leveled up to 2 more, I'm gonna try this first to see how much it'll increase my damage, and then if I feel I need more survivability, I know right now that's what I'm working on mainly. Kind of got all my damage, or a lot of my damage first in the tree, and now I'm getting all my block chances and all my other stuff, my health and all that stuff boosted up now, so the survivability will be getting a lot higher here soon. But that's it for this one. And then for this, I don't really use a scale very often. It's essentially there for the base 30% damage and resist by itself. Then also I get all this already, so doubling it is nice, but like I said, I don't really have to use it very often. Um, the only time I really pop that is, like, say if I'm doing monolith bosses, something that has a lot of HP, or that one worm guy, I forgot his name, that likes to go in his cocoon and block a lot. Um, that's about the only time I'll pop this, just to make it go a little bit faster. But for the most part, bosses die fairly quickly, um, so I have no issue with that. I'm also going to see, as far as damage wise, once I get this one up, one more point I'm going to put it in here, that I'm going to kind of do some test runs of my damage, and then I'm going to take it out of here and then put it over here and go um, 1 here, 3 here, and then 1 in the multiplier. Um, just to kind of see how much more, because I mean, if I max that out, that'll be 40% more crit chance and then 5% multiplier, which I don't know if that really will be worth it, but if it makes me crit twice as much, or like if I see a big dramatic difference in the amount of crits that I do, like how many I do, compared to raising it maybe 100 damage per hit, um, it might be more viable going this way because this build is kind of a mix of fire, physical, and crit. So it's quite a bit of everything right now. Um, so now this. Essentially, with Shield Bash, there is a node right here where if I use Lunge, it will cast Shield Bash for me. So I never even touch the skill. It casts itself for me. So I just lunge in, and it does a ton of damage. So a lot of times whenever I'm doing those maps where I'm killing as I go, a lot of times lunge, this skill alone will kill everything, or kill a lot of stuff. So essentially you'll come down here for the extra charge and shield bash. That way it can pop off a lot more often. Um, then we're coming down here for block chance, block effectiveness, and then to the one that makes a cast lunge. Then we'll be coming up here and grabbing um, one in width, uh, one in frailty, and now this is where you can kind of make it your own. I generally came here and grabbing this because it gives you your guaranteed stun converts to 300% ignite chance. So that's 3 stacks of ignite chance or ignite on them. More fire damage per block chance. So if you're at like 75%, 100%, that's going to be 100% more fire damage. So the more the merrier, the bigger the damage. Stun mobs are converted to ignite duration. And then coming down here, and this is a big one right here, is that um, when you hit someone with shield bash, it's going to the next melee attack you do does 200% more melee fire damage, which is pretty good. So now, as far as the remaining points, past the 2 in this one, you can do the 2 in here and put the rest, and then go 2 in here, and whatever points left over into here. So essentially, you could go 3 here, and then what would it be? Uh, 3. I think it would be 3 here as well. Um, yeah, it would be 3 and 3. You can do that. Um, that would work really well. You could do, instead of in here, if you want more defenses, you can put save points in here. Essentially, um, it just makes you, as soon as you shield bash, you're gonna block the next 1, 2, or 3, depending on how many points you have put in there, which would be okay. But I think you'll get a better result out of this. Because if you put 3 in here, that'll add 3 stacks of frailty on the enemy, which is, I'm at 6% per. That's a pretty nice chunk of damage that they're not going to have to be doing to you. Um, so that would be up to you. Now, you can go this way if you want to try it. Go 2 here, go 1 here to where you don't have a cooldown, to where every time you lunge, you're always going to shield bash. But what that's going to do is that's going to take off 80% of um, the effect. Um, Now, the only thing about that is then you have to cast this yourself. So you can't do the combo where you just press lunge and have this, because it has to have a cooldown. Because they don't want you doing it, getting that bonus every 3 seconds when you lunge, or every 2 seconds when you lunge. On lunge, you'll be going up here, mana efficiency cooldown, crit chance, or damage from initiative is 40%, and crit chance is 40%, and then coming up here for increase the initiative to 200% for the crit. So And then you'll be come down here for base crit, one here for health on crit just to get to here. Um, Now just remember, this is the higher you go with this, the more damage you're going to be taking while you lunge. So if you want to max this out, you can max this out. I max this out. I wouldn't recommend maxing this out until your defenses, like your resist and all that stuff, are maxed. Uh, because if you max this out at 100% and then try to go through a bunch of casts like orbs and lightning and all kinds of stuff that, say, when you did a big pull, mass pull behind you, and they cast a bunch of stuff and you try to lunge straight through that, you're more than likely going to die. So you can put 2, 3. I mean, if you don't want to put any in there, that's totally up to you. Now you can do what I'm testing right now. Essentially, is coming up here, put 3 points in here, and then 1 in here. So that'll put me at 19. Then I'll have 1 point left over, and then I can put it back in here. I want to test if this is supposed to make you invincible while you lung, so no damage while you lung. But yet this is going to say 100% chance increased damage taken. So if you're not taking any, then that would negate that increase. Whether that will work in tandem together, I've got to test that as soon as I finish leveling it up to see if it actually works like that. Because then I'll still be doing insane damage with the lunge, and I don't have to worry about that extra damage taken. Now, if it doesn't work, then you can say come up here just to where you can lunge. Like, you can have this as going in, killing, or say you get into something that you're not able to handle, like you still haven't got your gear where it needs to be and you need to get out of there. It could be a survivability thing of getting out of the thick of stuff, where you won't take any damage. And then you can put maybe some points up here at the area to where you'll be hitting more enemies to kill more things at one charge. But that's it for the skills. So now we're going to go over the passive. Essentially on Sentinel, right now I am going here for the base melee physical damage, melee stun chance, just because we're AoEing killing a bunch of stuff, or hitting a bunch of stuff. That little stun chance is pretty nice to have. That's kind of, you don't have to go there if you don't want to. I'll probably be taking it out. I'm not sure yet. Coming here for the increased damage, stun avoidance, vitality, health regen, and then block chance. And then Void Knight to get this, mainly coming here for this, 100% increased damage. If you killed recently, you're going to be killing all the time, so why not have an extra 100%? This for the leech. I mean, if you feel comfortable with the leech in your gear, and once I get higher, I'll be able to test if I'm okay with that, with the leech I'll have on my gear and my stuff, to where I might be able to take that out and use that elsewhere for more damage. Nothing in Forge Guard just yet. I'm probably going to come in here. I want to, once I get all my gear situated, my skills all leveled, all that fun stuff, I want to see where my block chance is. Because I want to get it as high as I can. I don't think I'm really worried about hitting 100%. But I might still go to 100% because it will increase my damage, like on the shield wall and stuff. Or not shield wall, but shield bash. So, not sure. If I get this one, I'll go ahead and get this one too, because that'll be extra armor on block. But other than that, I don't have anything else in here right now, but I might put a few in here to test a few things, and all that stuff. So Paladin. I've got 8 points in here for the physical damage, fire damage, penetrations. 8 points in here for the attunement and the elemental resist, mainly for the elemental resist, but the attunement's nice to have as well. Block chance efficiency, block avoidance. Um, I'm testing this out to see if when this triggers, because it's a cast holy symbol and it heals me. So if that works with this, I'm gonna get both of these and get that. That'll be 70% increased damage and healing granted. Um, and it lasts for 4 seconds, so I'm gonna be blocking all the time. So that'll be should be procking all the time, which should proc that, which means extra damage. Um, but if it doesn't work, then of course I'll take this out and I'll take that out. Um, Other than that, I'm kind of waiting until I get up to here so I can grab this, and then I'll be grabbing that to give more fire damage and movement speed because, hey, we want to get through everything as fast as possible and kill as fast as possible. Um, so I'll probably be grabbing this, put 1 point in here and 4 in there. Um, Other than that, that's pretty much. I'm probably, if I have the points, I'm gonna put 1 point in here, and then max this out, because that'll give me 10% glancing blow, and another 100 health. Um, so definitely kind of self-explanatory there as well. Um, if I do anything else past that, I will probably grab this to get more health and more and that blind chance just to help kind of disorient them to where they're not hitting me as much, so just survivability. um, but other than that, that's pretty much it on the passives. So now we'll go over the gear. So as far as idols, it's pretty much thrown together stuff. There's not really a set like most, like my VK has an echo, or there's usually like a throw attack. There's usually something set for these builds, but for this one, there's not really anything set that you can go. I've heard a few things about the penetrations not working as intended. Um, I haven't. I went where I put all fire penetration um, with melee attacks on, and I did see an increase in my damage. So I meant, to me, I think it is working. Um, so not sure what I people are telling me on that end. So essentially, I'm going to be going with, and I do want to check to see. Oh, I did forget something. I put 1 point in here, just for the 20% cast Divine Bolt. Um, I mean, it does fire damage, and it actually pops off quite often. So it's just for 1 point, it's pretty nice, decent to have. You don't have to do that. I just did that for a little extra pew pews everywhere. Um, oops. So I might change over my Warpath over to where I do the say come up here instead of down here, and see, because I want to see if that will cast Divine Bolts as well. Um, because if I have a couple of these in here, then it'll cast it for me, and I could take that off my tree and put that 1 point somewhere else. Right now, I'm trying to get anything fire melee penetration, and then fire damage or armor shred as well, which I'm missing one of mine. But I want to also get a bit of armor shred on my stuff because I want to be shredding their armor as I go. So I want at least 100% armor shred. But other than that, it's just kind of throwing together stuff until I get some stuff dropped. Now, like I said, this stuff, some of it is kind of crafted, but it's not the tier that I needed, so it's just from leveling. So some of it I crafted, some of them I didn't. Well, actually, now pretty much everything is. crafted, even though most of it's like tier 1, tier 2, and maybe some tier 3 stuff. Um, so, weapon, we're going Eye of Rin. This works really well with this build. And this is why when you do the big pull and kill and then backfeed at the end and just mow through stuff, the damage skyrockets because essentially when you're doing it, you're getting 100 almost 160% ignite on hit. You get the melee fire damage, and you gain a stack of Rin Ire for 5 seconds on melee crit. We're going to be doing a lot of crits, so the Rin's Ire grants you 5% critical multiplier and fire damage over time. Each stack you get. So, um, essentially, you can go kill a couple mobs and maybe only get 4 or 5, maybe 7 stacks. But when you do those huge pulls, you're hitting 20, 30, 40, 60 mobs at a time. Those stacks go through the roof quick. Because you'll see on the dummy, once it starts to proc, and of course I'm going to say this and I'm going to do like no crits. But if I sit here long enough and the crits go off like they normally do, you'll see those stacks start to go up. I was doing this yesterday and I was hitting just no buffs at all, just Whirlwind, or I always call it Whirlwind, just Warpath. I was hitting 10k crits just by sitting here doing this. Now granted, like I said, I'm missing a bit of my crit chance, so I've got my gloves to craft right now here. I also need, I got it right here. I made another amulet, but I didn't pay attention that the base crit chance on it was extremely low. The other one that I had was this one, and that's almost, it was a high roll there. Um, and I already had a high crit chance on it, so it kind of lowered my crit chance. But essentially, the more you get, the higher your damage, the bigger the numbers. So like I said, this is without any buffs at all. I'm doing 2k crits by itself, 10k when you start getting a bunch of stacks. So imagine doing this, I'm getting anywhere from 1 to maybe 6 or 7 stacks on one enemy I'm hitting. So if I were to be hitting 50, 60, 70 enemies at one time, that would be 50, 60, 70 times that many. So that those damage numbers are going to go through the roof. So as I was saying, it's kind of how you like to play. If you're playing, if it's a good density map, you can go between mobs and kill as you go through. You'll have decent enough stacks, anywhere from 3 or 4 to maybe 10 to 15. You'll be fine. This will stay up at all times. You're fine. If not, if it's a really low density map, I would recommend just running through the end, pulling everything to the end, and just mowing it over at the end. So Renire works really well, and it's fairly low level, so you can start using it early on. I did try to craft a few pieces of weapons, trying to see if I can get a better damage, but once I switched to that, the damage went through the roof. It was a whole lot better. So on the helm, so like I said, these are all my crafted stuff, so everything is good except for, oh, I forgot I switched that. So everything is crafted, so this is what you'll be needing, or what I'm aiming for, but max stat, of course. And of course the right piece here and the right piece here, and the higher level shield. But everything else, I'm gonna try out. I've got this one. I'm gonna make another one just like this, and I'm gonna try the crit multiplier one and see if that one is how that one fares to it compared to the just the flat fire damage. Essentially because I don't really do spells, so this one really won't really help very much. So I'm gonna change this out to the what is it called? The radiant? Yeah, the radiant crest, the yellow one. So that will give me more multiplier, which means more crit multipliers, crit damage. So uh, helm, strength, cooldown, fire damage, ignite, physical damage, bleed duration. Same thing here. Well, strength, um, health on regen, physical, and then it's going to be the same physical, not physical, but fire. It fractured. Just putting strength tier one and health regen tier one broke it. It was a blue that dropped. So that was my luck. Um, I don't have any more of the fire duration one or fire damage and duration ones, so I'm waiting to get some more of those before I craft another one. Um, Amulet, we're going with the crit amulet, damage while channeling, crit chance, void resistance and health. Um, the shield will be the highest level shield you can have. So once you get to the end game, you'll have that one. It'll be block chance, health on block, necrotic, and poison resistance. Left ring, we're going crit chance, fire damage, um, necrotic, and an elemental resist. Belt, we're going elemental damage over time for the ignites. Armor, void resistance, poison resistance. The right ring, leech, fire damage, health regen, armor. Um, Here we got on this, like I said, it's going to be the Radiant Crest one, not this one. Fire damage, Damawad channeling, physical resist, and elemental resist. Transient rest boots for the physical resist, poison resist, necrotic resist, and movement speed, and just a bit of ward every time you stop moving. Not too bad to have. I mean, we're not going to get a whole lot of ward out of it, but it's a nice way to trigger the health regen when you stop. Or if you're being hit, it'll give you some health regen while it takes that away from your ward. And then gloves, leech, melee attack speed, hybrid health, and then physical resist. So like I said, that'll put us at cap resist. We'll have armor, we'll have block chance. Like right now, I'm only at 50% block, and I'll have quite a bit more once I finish leveling and put a few things where they need to be, and get the higher shield as well. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Let's see here. I wanted to show you one thing real quick because I forgot about it. Where is it? Or is it in lunge? Okay. Now I don't even remember what it was. I saw something earlier and I thought, um, oh, lunging in and then doing the frailty was nice. And then coming over, you can do something like if you wanted to kind of change a few things up to kind of make it your own, kind of do your own little thing to it. There was one blind block. Because like with this node, where with its extra block, it's only going to last for 4 seconds, but it's nice to have that little burst of block chance as soon as you rush in and kill whatever's around. especially on the bosses and stuff. So this really works well with defensive and offensive. But other than that, that's pretty much the build. Um, like I said, once I get it higher, whatever I change, whatever I find, and all that stuff, I'll make another build guide video with the updates and all that stuff. So, um, but like I said, if you like the content, please smash the like button. I hope you enjoyed it. Also, if you want to keep up with this build, my other builds, all my guides, my live streams, all that fun stuff, smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to join our Discord down below, chit chat with us and the other members, and keep up with my guides there, ask any questions, have any issues, and when multiplayer comes out, I'd be more than happy to run with you, help you farm gear, level up, all that fun stuff. So, um, my name is Devin from Deadly Art Gaming, and you all have yourselves a great one.